over the last 7 years, 9 really scary things have happened to me when it comes to my money and my career. And I'm going to share those with you because I feel like there's going to be something in here that's going to help you. It all started with the fear that my clients and prospects would not take me seriously after hearing the story I'm about to tell you. So there are a lot of things that I was terrified about being honest about because I knew that some people would perceive them as sort of a weakness in me. And the beginning of my career in finance was an uncomfortable enough phase in my life. I didn't need extra weaknesses. So instead of being honest about the weaknesses, I hid them and I didn't let people know that they were there. And the interesting thing is that that was the perspective I had on it back then. And as time went on, I realized that they weren't weaknesses at all. They were actually strengths. And in the words of my Saskatchewan-born father, transforming from a self-employed hairdresser to someone who was supposed to know all about money, a financial advisor, was ballsy. So it wasn't necessarily a weakness, it was a strength. Thanks, Dad. The second scary moment was the realization that 10 years from now, my son might look back and feel ripped off. So my son was in kindergarten when I started my career in finance, and so he was away from me for 3 hours a day, Monday to Thursday. And that didn't really give me enough time to do everything I needed to do in order to pass the exams and get hired by the investment firm that had given me an opportunity to work there. So he watched a lot of Disney movies while I studied. And, childcare just wasn't an option for very many hours a week. It was expensive. It still is expensive. I guess I just worried at that time that he would look back on those months or I guess couple years and feel ripped off because I had taken time and focus away from him to invest in a future for us. And about 5 to 10 times a day, I'd think to myself or sometimes vent to my friends or strangers in the grocery lineup, starting a new career would have been so much easier a year from now when my son was in full-time school. There was just a lot of guilt around taking the time and focus off of him to invest it in me. And I had to keep reminding myself of one fact, and that was that my son will be happy that I took this opportunity to learn and share how to create financial success. I just stuck to that. I clung to that. I decided that that's what his answer will be when I ask him when he's 20 years old, how he feels about his childhood and the fact that I sort of veered off of spending most of my time with him to, invest in a better future for us. And I'll let you know what he says when I ask him that question when he's 20. And the third scary moment was the realization that I could fail. And this crossed my mind about once a week, but at the time, my definition of failure meant just not succeeding at the particular role I was in. And, failure and success obviously have a completely different meaning depending on the person you're talking to. But for me at the time, failure meant failing at the role I was in. And the role I was in was sell, sell, sell. I was in a sales role. And so this definition of failure wasn't actually mine. Large corporations are really, really great at teaching brand new employees that success and hitting commission targets go hand in hand. And that isn't actually the case. After a few years in the finance industry, I decided 2 things about my definition of success. 1, that success is about changing lives for the better, and 2, that success without failure is less fulfilling. The good news is I didn't fail the financial exams, and I was hired by that investment firm. Although I wasn't meant for that role, I am very thankful every day for the opportunity that firm gave me. Scary moment number 4 was the realization that my job title is a sham. So after being hired by the investment firm, I knocked on hundreds of doors in my community, introducing myself and my new business. And this resulted in meetings, which resulted in new clients. And it was during this process that I realized that my title was BS. I wasn't a financial advisor, I was a financial product salesperson, compensated only when I sold stocks, bonds, mutual funds, life insurance. And so this led to more scary moments. Scary moment number 5 was the realization that I was going to have to work for free, a lot. So many times people asked, what do you charge for financial review? but I was unable to charge for my financial consultation services. And I'm not saying that I hate working for free. I mean, I present free workshops and seminars at libraries. I broadcast live interviews with money success experts. I love, love, love giving away some of my information for free. But gathering data, crunching numbers, and building a customized financial plan for someone, that should be something that a person is paid for. If a person is a professional and they are trained in how to do that, they should be paid for that. And that's the type of thing that I was doing over and over again, and probably a 50% success rate on turning people into clients after I had, crunched their numbers and built a plan for them. But the problem was that throughout that process, they realized that I wasn't going to get paid unless they invested money or bought life insurance. And I think some of the people who did become clients might have done it more out of guilt than out of a sheer sort of sense of need to work with me. So I will never stop sharing some of my best money success tips on, my YouTube channel and to my Money Success Moms email list. However, I do get paid for my financial consultation work now. And, in the end, it turns out that people just don't value services that they get for free. But those are people who don't need a new financial advisor. They just need someone they like, trust, and believe in to help them see what's really going on with their money and show them a few strategies that they may want to use to improve their financial picture. And I kept coming across people like that who were really coming away from their time with me and from all of the time that I put into them for free, just feeling like they're on the right track, and they were thankful. They wanted to pay me for giving them that sense of, whew, I'm okay, but they couldn't. So those scary moments definitely kept happening over and over again, which led to scary moment number 6, which was the realization that I can't help the people who need it most. The financial advising industry is geared towards wealthy people. It's sad but true, but most financial advisors couldn't be bothered to deal with people who aren't already wealthy. They don't make as much money off of helping non-wealthy people become wealthy. They make a ton more money off of taking wealthy people and making them wealthier. But it's not their fault, so don't blame the financial advisors. It's actually the folks at the big banks who are creating these compensation models that are to blame. And these compensation models, interestingly enough, don't even apply to the people creating them. So it's yeah. It's frustrating. Scary moment number 7. The only way I can help the people who need it the most is by becoming an independent consultant. That was scary because I had no idea how I was going to do that. And it wasn't literally until I was shoved into having to find out that I discovered it really wasn't that hard. And if you know a financial advisor or someone who's just getting a start in this industry, tell them what I just said. Tell them that it's completely possible and way better to be on your own. And this was only scary for literally 3 days. So it's the least scary moment of all of the ones I'm telling you about right now. As soon as I got shoved out of the boat and started swimming towards shore and figured out that life was actually going to be better on this tropical island than it was on that crappy boat, I was fine. But it was still 3 very scary days, and my fear was actually replaced with excitement. And the excitement was that I finally get to do what makes me happy, which is helping those who like, trust, and believe in me, no matter how much money they have. So this meant removing the name of a large, well-known international investment firm from my business card and replacing it with an unknown but very awesome name, which is Berry Financial Consulting Incorporated. Scary moment number 8 came quite soon after I began my own company, and it was that I had just hired a business coach and I had no idea how I was going to afford to pay him. And at that time, I had spent all my savings getting my new company up and running. I'd hired a web designer. I was, trying to go about things very professionally, but the income wasn't really there yet. So it was a scary time. But somehow, month after month, I found the money to pay my web designer, to pay my business coach, to pay my bills. And, it definitely had to be very careful about my spending, which I learned a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing with everyone in my workshop. But I had to practice what I preach by saying no to most vacations and most evenings out. But trading those experiences for business coaching paid me huge returns, and I didn't have as many hangovers, so that was good. And the number one reason why I hired this particular business coach was because he was an author. And he took me through a book writing process that began with analyzing my clients and realizing my financial conversations with my clients who are moms were having the most impact. And he told me that it was my moral responsibility to share my financial knowledge with more moms. And that made total sense. So in 2016, I wrote a book, and it was published in January of 2017. And that really began with just blogging and publishing articles on LinkedIn. And scary moment number 9 happened in 2016, right after I decided to write a book. And it was that my son came home from school one day and read my goal out loud to me. So he saw it on my goal board, and he had been watching my goal board kind of come to be, and sort of seeing new things on it every few days. And so he read out loud that I was going to publish my first book by July 1st of 2016. And just listening to him say that, and then having him turn to me and say, "So it's going to be like 200 to 300 pages?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So you're going to write a book?" And I was like, yeah. It was terrifying, and the literally best thing that happened to me in that stage of, deciding to do something that I knew was going to be really hard. And the thought of looking like a failure to my son was terrifying. And that's what I was running away from as I was writing my book. And it was really like, having wolves at my heels. It drove me, and it drove me in the right direction. Around the same time, something else really cool happened. I was on my way out the door to go camping for the weekend, and I built this little post of 3 different book cover ideas, and I posted it on LinkedIn. And I literally just said book cover A, B, or C ? Posted it, went camping. 4 days later or something, I think I picked up my phone, happened to have cell service out in the bush, and saw that this post was going berserk. It was getting about 1,000 likes and comments a day. And that continued. And now it's up at over 200,000 likes and comments. And so LinkedIn was such a huge thing for me. And I mean, I'm mentioning it here because if you're one of the people who liked or commented on that post on LinkedIn, thank you so much, because you are the reason that my book got in front of the eyes of almost everyone on LinkedIn, which helped me land new dream clients and hundreds of moms who wanted my latest creations in their inbox. It grew my email list, got my book into Calgary's biggest Chapters Indigo store. So thank you, LinkedIn, and thank you to all of you who are on LinkedIn and who helped with that, because it took me from this place of fear and of sort of wondering if I should go through with my goal, to being like, these people are excited about my book, and these people are really going to support me when the book comes out. And it was just a really neat experience. And then, of course, after much help in the editing department, my blogs and my LinkedIn articles became an actual published book, 39 Keys to Money Success for the 39 Forever Mom. It took about 9 months from beginning to end for that to all come together, and I actually missed my deadline by 2 months. But in the end, I had achieved my goal. I had a published book, and I got to experience a day a lot like my son's baby shower. It was my book signing at the Chapters Indigo store. And, all these people were coming through the door, like ladies from my book club, just people that I know, and it was amazing. So many of my clients came through the door that day, and, I joked to everyone, it's like the wedding I'll never have, and nothing could compare to it. It was so stress-free and so fun and such a celebration. And yeah, I can't even describe how it felt. I mean, I joked to my son that it was better than his baby shower. I mean, it was a lot like a baby shower, but it was better because my clothes fit, I wasn't tired, and everyone got to take a copy of my baby home. And since publishing my book, the next big goal was to create a workshop for moms in both live and virtual formats. And I've done that now, and it feels amazing to have checked that goal off the list. The live workshop was presented to a group of moms in front of a videographer, and then the videos were used as part of the virtual workshop material. And in October 2017, this workshop was actually born and launched out to the world. So the first workshop session is free until November 26, 2017. So make sure to get that if you haven't. The moral of my scary stories is this: it's good to be scared. Since I'm most productive when I'm running scared, and I've learned that, and through actually creating this article, which I'm now turning into a video, I realize how much better I am when I'm scared. And I actually enjoy telling people about some of the craziest, not craziest, but difficult to achieve goals that I have, because I've seen in my past how it's helped me achieve them. It's just by manifesting them. I do have another goal that I want to share with you. It's going to be really hard to achieve. I might not even be able to pull it off, but here it is. So before I'm 40, I will buy land in the middle of nowhere, probably in Alberta, near a creek, and build a solar-powered cabin, a chicken coop, a garden, a cold room, a shooting range, and many tree stands, and I will raise the best chicken guard dogs in the world. But this isn't all for me. This cabin will host retreats where moms will learn how to declutter their lives to make room for the most important stuff in life, which is relationship skills, money management skills, and wilderness survival skills. So thank you for holding me accountable to achieving that goal. And I hope that you too will push past whatever fear and discomfort is seeming like is in your way. Push it out of the way and get going towards your biggest goal. And the best way to do that is to put that big goal out there for the world to see. And it is a bit scary, but I suspect you're a lot like me, and you will run from that fear, and that will only push you closer to achieving your goal. That's how this hairdresser turned into a financial consultant, and basically also how I achieved writing a book. So it does work. And no matter what your goal is, you will find some inspiration in my brand new Money Success for Moms workshop. And make sure you check that out at the39forevermom.com. In closing, no matter what you think about yourself, no matter what other people have told you, I am telling you that you deserve to achieve your biggest goal. And you need to find people to support you through difficult times. So don't try to do it alone. Don't try to keep it a secret. And you know what? Perhaps I can help. So if you'd like to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook and Instagram at the39forevermom. Let me know your number one goal and your number one obstacle, and I will do my best to help you, because you have helped me by listening to my biggest goal that I have to achieve before I'm 40. So thank you. Have a great day.
I just wanna find a way to tell you I can't wait to